Well, maybe just to step back for a second, talk to us about what seller's inflation, this is the term that you use, actually is, and how maybe it differs to traditional conceptions of greedflation. Because this is one reason, I remember when we were writing that piece, Joe, this is one reason why I wanted to call it something other than greedflation, because it's not like everyone woke up in March 2020 and suddenly decided to become more greedy.
Which is a common critique of like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I think that everybody agrees on that. Like, no one is saying that there has been this sudden greedy impulse where firm leaders just became more greedy than they used to be, right? That is just not a good theory. So the question is, how can it be that in incredibly concentrated industries, we had decades of surprising price stability, right? Even like deflation in some periods. And now in this same highly concentrated kind of setup, we suddenly get this price over volume type of pricing behavior, right? And what we are arguing in our paper is that there's basically different components that coordinate price hikes in ways in which they could not be coordinated without these emergencies happening.
Right.
So one prominent thing is a cost shock. I mean, we have had gigantic cost shocks coming out of energy, right? That kind of send a signal to firms, okay, now is the time to increase prices, which means that they can be fairly sure that their competitors are also increasing prices, because the way that they are pricing is to protect their profit margins. So the first goal is to make sure that their profit margins are not going to collapse, which means that if costs go up, they are going to increase their prices. Now, this is like kind of the most benign form of coordination, but there can also be bottlenecks that can then coordinate pricing behavior, and that can coordinate this pricing behavior even when the actual bottleneck might already start to cease, because there's still this signal to the whole sector that something different is going on.